It was good, YouTube. It's 8 Notes here again, and today I feel kind of sad because it's one of those days where you make a decision, you know exactly what you want, what you're doing, but then you just can't let go of the past. If you've seen previous videos on this channel, you've probably seen the speaker right behind me. I know it's kind of blurry, it's super blurry right now, but yeah, before now I used to have the IK Multimedia iLoud MTMs. I've had them for 2 years. They've served me very well. I can't complain. I mean, I've made so many amazing sounding mixes on them speakers, but this morning the Royal Mail guys came and they picked it up. I sold those speakers for a new pair of monitors, the Adam Audio A7X. It's not the newest Adam Audio A7 lineups. The newest one is the A7Vs, but I got this and I'll tell you all about that, the reason why I sold the speakers and why I choose to pick this one up. Let's get into it. So like I said, 2 years ago I bought them speakers, and I live in England, right? As a young guy, just doing my thing, living my daily life, single at the time. I lived in a small house, a relatively small house with my brother. I had my room, he had his room, we had a lounge, you know, the separate kitchen and bathroom. But what I'm trying to say is, yeah, it didn't have enough space for me to set up like music recording or mixing studio in my house. So I'll always have to go to studios and book sessions, book some hours. We've got like really affordable studios around that I could go and mix in there, or just mix in my room on my headphones. But yeah, I decided to buy a pair of monitors and set up something in my home so I could just mix from home all the time. And you know how mixing is, yeah? You're not trying to take your setup to a communal area where other people are gonna be, you know, chilling out, watching their movies or whatnot, and you're just there on headphones or like on speakers. That's unthinkable. So only option is set up the studio in my room. And at the same time, you gotta consider that you're not trying to make noise, like be in my room and play all these mixes and be loud banging. Of course, it's not an acoustically treated room. It's going to leak out all the audio all over the house. And that was what I was going to do. So I was stuck in between, yo, I definitely want to set up a studio, and what speakers do I get? Because I've used the Yamaha HS8 for so long, I mean, it's my favorite monitors up until now anyways. I really understand how they sound. I've mixed loads of songs on them, and I was stuck between buying the HS8s, which were really huge and potentially loud, and playing them in my room at low volumes, or getting something else that made more sense. You know, regular stuff, get on YouTube, do the research, watch many videos about small room setups and stuff like that. And then I started kind of getting a better understanding of how bigger is not always better. So before now, it's like, oh, the bigger the speaker is, the more frequency range it covers, and the better it is for mixing. That was my thinking up until that point. But then I learned it wasn't really exactly always like that. And I ended up picking up the IK Multimedia iLoud MTMs. Reasons being, I have friends who've got the iLoud Micro, and they really sound great for the size. One of the OGs, Chopsticks, he put me on the iLoud Micro. I heard it in his house the first time in Lagos, and it was tremendous. I mean, when you see the little pair of monitors playing and you're thinking, is that really you? Are you sounding like that? Come on. It's crazy. So I thought, okay, if the iLoud Micro sound that great, that means the iLoud MTMs would sound amazing. And I went ahead, pulled the trigger on the purchase. I bought it. I'll tell you right now, yeah, great sounding monitors. I can't fault it for anything like major complaints. I have none. I've had them. They arrived, I mixed records on them. They're small for the size. When you hear the sound that comes out of these monitors for the size, you'll be amazed. And because they're portable, I can always put them in my bags and move around, travel to other places. I've got friends in different cities down south, London, Birmingham, Manchester. We go there, make music, so I can just take a duffel bag, chuck the monitors in there, audio interface in there, microphone in there, my laptop in my backpack, and you know, little other things like that, and I'll be good, because it was really that small. It sounds great and amazing considering I had a small room at the time. But anyways, fast forward 2024, me and my partner, we have a child now. We moved to a new house. It's bigger, there's relatively more space, you get what I'm saying? So I can take one of those rooms. We've got 2 rooms. We've got a lounge downstairs, so it's separated, like there's more space, and I can take all of my audio foolery into one room without bothering anybody else. Then I started building a new setup. Like I bring all my things out and started rebuilding, changing a few things, buying a few things, selling a few things. And when it got to monitors, yeah, I knew I was going to change it at that point, because for one reason, yeah, I learned more about monitoring systems. As a mix engineer, the thing is, yeah, you can't mix what you cannot hear. So you really need to hear as much as you can, with as much detail as you can, with, you know, as much clarity, without the worrying about all the lost frequencies in the spectrum, like, oh, this rolls off as this speaker's rolls off at this, rolls off at that. You know what I'm saying? So I knew I needed an upgrade, and I wasn't going to go back to the HS8 because this room is not very treated. Although I've packed in so many things in here now to like dampen the sound, but it's not the best acoustic treatment. And also I had made a decision that I am not willing to be moving my studio stuff like that anymore. So the way I told you, I used to like move things, put them in a duffel bag and take them to other cities and work with artists, record them in their rooms, their hotel rooms, whatever, their houses. I'm not willing to do that anymore. Now, I'm not speaking for everyone, because that's something, it's commonplace, it's tradition. We do it as producers, we do it a lot. So I stopped producing. I mean, I only mix and master. So yeah, I am no longer willing to move my equipments to other people's spaces to record them. So if you're a musician at this time of my life, yeah, and you want me to record you as a recording engineer, we should be able to book a studio space for that. Either I book it and I include it in my fees and you pay me for that, or you, if you don't want to pay me to book the session, you can find a suitable recording studio for you, book it, book my fees, pay my fees, and I'll come over there. You get what I'm saying? If we have to like do the whole recording in the house, if you and I are that close, I can bring you to my house, but I'm not trying to take you to, or take my stuff to you, if you get what I mean. So yeah, that's just me though. And considering that I no longer need monitors for portability, I decided to sell my iLoud MTMs. If I still had any reason to want to move my speakers, I would have kept them and still have my A7s, like A7 and the iLouds, but I didn't. So a very important thing that I have learned from this, buying the new A7X and selling the iLoud MTMs after moving to a new space and learning all these things about monitoring and stuff and how I can improve my sound. Yo, listen, yeah, physics will always reign supreme over DSP and digital processing. You can try as much as you can, yeah, to fit an amazing sounding driver in a small body, but listening to the same music on a pair of monitors that have larger cones will always translate better. The iLoud MTMs, I can't say this enough, sounds great, but it's a small body and the cones are small, so it's got some form of DSP in there to enhance the sound and make it sound better than it actually or normally would for the size. Meanwhile, the A7Xs are 7-inch monitors. They've got larger cones, the tweet is amazing, and when you listen, when I bought these monitors and I played back and I tried to mix a song or listen to, because before I start mixing, I'd have to listen to a bunch of songs, referencing is key. I'm a reference guy. I had to listen to songs. When I play back the songs, it was like a night and day difference. I could hear, like, feel the blankets being taken off of my speakers. That's because physically, these speakers are larger. They've got more room in there for air to move around. And that's acoustics, that's physics. It sounded more true to life, less digital compared to the iLoud MTMs. So I've learned that it's not like the MTMs are bad or terrible, but they serve the purpose. If you're trying to be on the go, you're a producer, you're just trying to make beats anywhere, yeah, cop the MTMs. But if you're doing this professionally for a long time and you're really mixing like that, I would say get something that's more acoustics and less DSP, because the digital enhancements, they make you feel the low ends being emphasized, but without clarity and the amount of depth. There's a difference. You know, I can't make these tests on YouTube. YouTube is not the best place to play back stuff and say, oh, listen to this, listen to that, because it's all gonna boil down to the kind of microphones I recorded with and the kind of earphones or speakers you're listening to from, so you can get the exact feeling. Although there's a couple of comparison videos on YouTube and you can check that out. Another thing that I noticed with the iLoud MTMs was that the iLoud MTMs has got like low frequency extensions, so 40, 50 and 60 hertz. When you push it down to 40 hertz, the low frequency expansion at 40 hertz make the sound wobbly. The low end starts to shake and rumble. It doesn't sound realistic anymore, especially at high volumes. So you really want to keep it at the 50. Now the 40 feature now feels useless, right? So you keep it at 50, and at 50 hertz, it sounds good. And I'm not going to tell you the tech specs right now. I'll put it on the screen while I'm editing this video, but I believe the Adam Audio A7X naturally goes below 50 hertz. I believe that's true. I'll check and I'll put it on this. If it doesn't, I'll write as text on this video. But anyways, being able to get a lower reach without digital enhancements, which is just a low shelf, you know, it feels much cleaner. And recently I've been considering getting like a dedicated DA converters, digital audio, so I can see if I can find more improvements out of that. If it works, fine. If it doesn't work, I'll just probably return it. But anyways, overall the A7X is, for my use case, is better than my iLoud MTMs. I sold it, I still love it, I still have something in my heart for it, but I no longer need it. And also having this A7Xs, although like I said, it's not the newest model, but I'll have some sort of future proofing. I'll probably be able to use it for like 3-4 more years if I am not willing to upgrade. And 4 years is a long time. By then I might be able to have bought my own house, stop renting, and be able to nail things into the walls and create my own studio. But anyways, thank you very much for watching this video. If you made it up to this point, you're amazing. Just leave a comment and say Adam, and I'll respond to you and thank you specially. If you like this video, check out other videos on my page. I make mixing and mastering related, audio related videos here on YouTube every week. Not every week though, but I try as much as I can. I'm trying to make more content these days. It's summer, sun is out, so I'll probably be shooting indoors, outdoors. I'll see you again in another video. Take care.